Ukraine's capital is reeling from one of the deadliest Russian attacks in recent months. A brutal overnight barrage of missiles and drones killed at least 9 people, including a 6-year-old boy, and wounded more than 120 others. Scripps News international correspondent Jason Bellini live in Washington, D.C. He's covered the war in Ukraine for us throughout and spent extensive time on the ground in that war zone. So, Jason, you've been closely following all of these developments. You've spent a lot of time in Kyiv. So what stands out to you about this latest attack?
Good morning. Well, the first thing that stands out is that a 5-month-old child was injured in this attack. This was massive, even by the standards we've become used to with the nearly nightly barrages from Russia against the capital city. And in this case, they hit 27 different locations inside of Kyiv. So the images we're seeing this morning are of rescue efforts trying to pull people from the rubble all over the city. And I can also tell you that what Russia used in this attack were Iskander missiles. They used 7 of them, according to the Ukrainians. We don't know exactly how many of them actually landed, how many of them managed to destroy buildings, but I can tell you these are fearsome. I've heard myself the explosion of one of them inside of Kyiv just a few weeks ago, and it rocks the city. You hear fire alarm, you hear car alarms going off. People weren't sleeping anyway all night long, which is pretty common all this summer. But this marks another tragic moment for Ukraine, because we're talking about schools being hit. We're talking about residential apartment buildings being destroyed. We're talking about hospitals. There's even a children's hospital that had windows blown out of it. So another terrifying night. And all of this as you have U.S. President Donald Trump saying that he's only giving giving Putin just about a week or so to initiate a ceasefire, to come up with a solution to end this war.
And Jason, Russia claims it's captured now a key town in eastern Ukraine. That's a claim that Kyiv is denying. It's a location you personally have visited many times. So what is the truth here, and why could this really be significant?
We're talking about Shahed, and this is a strategic stronghold because it's on the high ground, and it allows access to, if Russia indeed takes over Shahed, they'll be able to hit key supply routes for the Ukrainian military. It would put within sight even this very large city that continues to be where many Ukrainian troops are housed when they're not on the front line. We're talking about Kramatorsk. That could become within artillery range. So did they take this town? Well, the images that the Russians are showing, well, they show a flag being flown, but what the Ukrainian trackers that are very reliable when it comes to this, they're showing incremental movement within this town. It's really a block-by-block situation. The Russians are saying now that they've taken over the town. Ukrainians saying, well, not so fast. We're still fighting there. We're not giving up on Shahed. And you're right. I've spent a lot of time in this location. But things have changed. I mean, the fighting there has been going on now for 18 months. And if this were to be lost ultimately as part of Russia's summer offensive, that would pose some major logistical challenges to Ukraine at this point.
All right, Scripps News international correspondent Jason Bellini live for us. Thank you for your extensive reporting on this very important story. We appreciate it.